those of you who can't read the shirt from there, it says "Fuck Cancer." And unfortunately, we're going to have a little bit of a moment here, so we'll get past it and then we'll get to the funny. Unfortunately, I have the terminal variety of this. I've been in treatment for about 4 years now. 4,000 hours of chemo, 7 surgeries, and about 3 months of radiation, but I'm still here. So I thought I'd tell you a little bit about the beginning of treatment. So when I first started out, I had 6 weeks where I had 24/7 chemo, and I had radiation every day for 6 weeks. And unfortunately, with my type of cancer, it's colon cancer, they had to shoot me in the butt with radiation. Yeah, it's wonderful. On top of everything else, like, all right, we're going to burn you in the butt, and every 6 months, we'll do a manual examination. Great, this on top of cancer. So the first day I go in for radiation, I'm getting ready to go in. I've got the pump, the chemo pump that goes in through my bicep and down into my heart. I'm getting ready to go in there and have them, again, shoot me in the butt with radiation. And I'm trying to figure out some way to deal with this. So I grab one of my kids' markers, and right before I go back there, I draw a smiley face on my ass. So I go back there, and I lay down. All the radiation therapists are there. Okay, Mr. Siporin, come here. Lay down like this. Lay down. They open up the gown and see the smiley face. Bust up. So I think, all right, I'm going to continue this. So I go back home and I talk to my wife and I say, okay, let's do quotes of the day. So we're thinking, we come home. The first quote was, does this radiation make my butt look big? So we go in with that. Over the next days, in weeks, we're doing other ones. We have, I hope they pay you well. We have, that wasn't a fart, it was my tumor talking. And along comes St. Patrick's Day. It's about 2.5 weeks into treatment. And we have 4-leaf clover on this cheek right here, and trying to figure out what to put on the other one. And right before I go into radiation, it comes to me. I go, okay, what? Go ahead and pinch me. My wife sighs, long-suffering sigh, you can see why. And she goes and she writes that on there. And I go in there, I lay down, all the radiation therapists come in, right? There's like 6 or 7 of those guys and girls. I'm laying there, they open up the gown, I look back at one of the girls, go, hey, so? You gonna pinch me?
I wish we had some fancy glasses.
She looks at me, looks down at my butt,
fancy
looks down, goes,
okay.
What? I look back at her, I'm like, what was that for? She goes, it says right here. He asked you to pinch him, slap him for me. The lesson I learned is don't ask your wife to write pickup lines on your podcast. Should have been able to figure that one out on my own, right? So as it goes along, she gets me one other time. We go in there, and the quote was supposed to be, this ass brought to you by the letters and numbers T3 and N1. Right, that's the way that they staged the cancer. So at the beginning, I thought it was stage 3 with 1 lymph node involved. And it was a nice little homage to Sesame Street, right? So I go back in there, I lay down, all the radiation therapists come in, I look back at them, I'm like, hey, so what do you think? I said, I think you need to take out the garbage. He said, it says right here, please remind Dov to take out the garbage. Thanks, to this day, when I ask her about it, she goes, well, did it work? I said, well, yeah, I took out the trash. She goes, that's it? So as it went on, I couldn't come up with enough quotes. So I started doing some other stuff. I went in there once, and okay, have you guys ever seen the light bulb at the magic shops that you hold in your hand and it lights up? No? Okay. They have a light bulb at the magic shop that you hold in your hand and it lights up. So I got this because I thought, oh, that's a good idea. Let's see what I can do with it. Go in there, I lay down, and while the radiation therapists turn around for a minute, I just reach behind, stick that between my cheeks. So you gotta imagine, they turn back around and they see a lit light bulb. The look on their face is just classic, like, wow, I don't even know what to do with this. I turned back around to them and I said, I think my colon just had a good idea. So fast forward to the end of this, the end of 6 weeks. I've been doing this every day and I've had to raise the bar. And it gets right to the end of it and I think, okay, I gotta do something that's really gonna be memorable. I'm thinking about it, and then it comes to me. I'll wear a red lace thong. And trust me, it did not look good on me. But I'm thinking about this and I'm like, okay, I gotta get this. And I'm sitting down with my mother, of course, and telling her what I'm gonna do. And I said, you know, I'm gonna wear a red lace thong in there. And she looks at me, this wonderful woman from the Midwest, farm girl, and she goes, Dov, you can't do this, please, no. And I said, no, it's too good, I'm gonna do this. It's gonna be great, it'll be hilarious. And my mom, and I love her for this, she stops for a minute, she goes, can I buy it for you? And I stop for a minute, and I'm like, oh, that's so horrible, yes, it's gonna be a good story. So after work that day, we go down to Victoria's Secret, both my parents and I. And I'm dressed in a dress shirt and slacks, I look respectable. The poor cashier there, I know I emotionally scarred her for years. We walk in there and I walk right up to her and I say, hi, so what size panties do you think I'd wear? She stops for a minute like, large? And because I'm me, I say, thank you. My mom stops for a minute and she goes, oh, you have to tell them what you're doing this for. And without missing a beat, I go, they don't care what I'm wearing. They're under my pants, Mom. You've never heard it so silent in Victoria's Secret. We hear a pin drop as everybody went, what? So she turns red, goes off to the other side of the store. My dad, meanwhile, is walking around, looking around like, wow, this is a neat place. The girl looks at me and she goes, so, red lace thong. And I said, yeah, and at this point she's looking at me, she's trying to figure out, you know, am I gay? What's going on? Do I just cross-dress? And I decided to twist the knife just a little bit further and I said, you know, my wife told me that there's ones with a little charm in the back. Can you show me where those are? And I think that's the point where she kind of shut down. She's like, okay, whatever. I don't want to know. Why your parents are, I don't know. No, don't want to know. So we look around. There's one great point where my dad picks up this like green and blue lace thong. He goes, these are interesting though. And I look at him and yell across the store, yeah, they've got a lot going on in the front, but everybody's going to be seeing the back. So those are the ones I need to get. So we get done. I finally get the red lace thong. I go back up to the poor cashier again, and I'm like, okay, these are the ones I need to get. And she automatically responds, did you find everything all right? I said, yeah. But I got a question. These, do they go with my eyes? And she looks at me with this look in her face like, please, no more. And she goes, yeah, they do. I go, thanks. I just want to make sure they look good. So I get them, we're walking out the store, my mom leaves me. She goes, Dov, just please tell me you're never going to tell anyone about this. I said, exactly. That's exactly. I said, Mom, I'm going to tell strangers in the elevator. I'm telling everybody about this. This is too good. So yeah, cancer treatment is very interesting. I go through these things called PET scans, positron emission tomography, and that's what basically tells me how the tumors are doing. So, is the chemo working? Are the tumors growing? I do these scans every 3 months. And it's always a little nerve-wracking going in there because you may have a bunch of new tumors and you may not. So it's a really highly emotional time going in there. So I've taken to, of course, screwing with the doctors when I go in there, right? So the last one that I went in there and they've given me, like I said, a lot of radiation. During the PET scan, they inject me with more radiation. So I go in there, I take a glow stick, and before I go back to the scan, I break the glow stick, cut it open, pour it out, and then paint myself with it. The nurse comes back in, and I go, I gotta ask you about something. I open up the gown, and I'm glowing purple. And before you worry about it, I don't know if it gives you cancer. I really don't care at this point. But let me tell you, the look on the nurse's face when she's like, I've never seen that before. And I respond with, neither have I. What did you do to me? It's beautiful. Anyway, one thing I want to point out before I go is that Jamie Maxfield, the headliner tonight, he is donating half of all the proceeds from the CDs to the Huntsman Cancer Institute. So a little round of